Welcome to another episode of I Know Jax. I'm Joe Talentino. Today I have a great show. But you already knew that if you watch me every week. If it's your first time here, well, welcome. You're in for a treat. Here at IKnowJax.com, we focus on everything that makes life fun. We leave all the serious local news stories to serious news programs. We don't touch any of the gloom and doom here. We're all about sunshine, even when it's raining. I'm not your normal TV host either. I don't have that smooth voice and I'm not a polished persona. I'm just Joe. What you see is what you get. So if you like that, well, this show's for you. First, we're going to visit a place down in St. Augustine.
I decided at age 29 that we kind of wanted to have a career change and move out of tennis and into something else, but I didn't know what that was. And my husband and we went out to California, on our honeymoon. We went to Napa and everything, and their beer game is strong as well.
Oh yeah.
And on the flight back, I was like, oh, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring some of that feeling here to St. Augustine. And we decided to really spotlight coffee.
Right.
And good coffee. And there are many ways to do that, but the way that we chose was do pour-overs.
For people that don't know, what's a pour-over?
Yeah, a pour-over is going to be a 3-minute slow brew extraction, if you will. So we maintain the freshest coffee around. We roast it here in-house. We grind it, everything fresh, everything's brewed to order.
The coffee aficionados, or you coffee geeks, if we want to call it. You like the lighter coffees. That sounds interesting to me. Why is that? What's the difference?
I suppose the longer you roast your coffee, it starts to taste more like the roast and less like the coffee. So you want a coffee that you could actually taste the flavors. I mean, the farmers and the growers went to a lot of trouble to
make it
to get this coffee, and each land has different flavors that it adds to the coffee, and you want to kind of highlight that and respect that.
And we encourage everybody who gets a pour over, and especially first timers here at Dose, to try it black. Not add anything to it. Take a sip. You can always add to it, but you can't take away. Right? You can't take it away.
I got you.
So I always hand stuff to people black. We can always amend the situation to suit everybody's taste, and it's fine. If you want to add milk, if you want to add cream, do it. But I would say try a pour over, try it black, and see the difference.
For the person who's coming in the first time, what would you like to have them try?
Sumatran.
Yeah. So I started at a good spot, huh?
Yeah. I think a Sumatran or a Colombian is a good place to start. Pretty mild flavor profile, nothing too crazy, nothing too acidic. A nice body, nice mouthfeel. It's a good place to start because a lot of people add milk to their coffee, and some of the lighter coffees, any coffee, as far as I'm concerned, you shouldn't add milk to. But this is Julie's place. This is her vision. This is her thing. I'm here for help with quality control, and I roast coffee.
Right.
I have a full-time job, and this is just I do this for fun. In a couple years, I hope to know a lot more about what I'm doing. Learning every day, experimenting, trial and error. Some of the coffees I roast, I never put them out. I make it to the.
Don't pass the muster.
They don't pass it, and so there's so much to learn. There's so many. It's such a in-depth topic to try to
it's
take
like beer or wine. You got so many flavor profiles you can go through. It's crazy. How do you choose the wines you have? What kind of process do you go through on that?
Probably the wines and the beers. I think they're very similar. There's so much good stuff out there.
Oh man,
And so it's part of the hardest part of my job is, I have to do wine tasting.
You have to taste it.
And I have to taste beer.
You're hard. It's a horrible
I know,
job.
it's just terrible. There's so much good, but we don't have enough room to store it all.
Right.
So
you rotate?
We rotate, yes. We rotate. A few times a year, we'll change up the wine list completely. Yeah, half of the menu you can taste here. It's a by the glass selection. Cool. And the other half is just, we have completely different wines.
I think really what they're doing here is making crack and hiding it in a coffee mug. This is your playground.
This is.
Don't tell anybody, right?
Yeah, it's kind of, Annabelle and I, we just hang around here. It is. That's exactly what this is. We built this place to
be a playground.
A place that we would want to, just hang.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a game changer for sure.
Absolutely.
It'll ruin you.
It ruined me.
It'll ruin you.
I think we'll leave on that. No, Dose will ruin you. Since my visit at Dose, I've actually started drinking cold pressed coffee. I got hooked. I don't drink coffee every day, just every now and then, and I'm really a big fan of mixing cold pressed coffee with a stout. Lots of places are serving that now. They're calling it like eye openers or wide awake, all kinds of funny names. Craft stout with cold pressed coffee. It's good, and it's good for you. But when I first started with craft beer, I would never have touched anything that dark at all. I stayed with the pale ales. I'm still a big fan of cider and mead and honey wine. You'll see me do more stories about this here on iknowjax.com soon. But right now, let's talk about cocktails. I'm hanging out in the bar at Jaxon Social with bartender Carissa, and you are going to make one of your signature drinks, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what it is.
I have a Dutch Courage for you today, which is a gin-based drink.
Okay.
And it's a local gin from St. Augustine, which is winning many awards. It's a fantastic product.
They're becoming internationally renowned for that gin.
Yeah, it's they're making all kind of good alcohol down there. Some really good rum and vodka, and now bourbon soon. So, really cool place.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, I'm featuring the St. Augustine gin, and basically it's a martini. It's called Dutch Courage. Actually, the Dutch is the one who created what gin got known for.
Gotcha.
Even though England is where it's popular,
Yeah.
it originated from the Dutch.
Gotcha.
So we have the St. Augustine gin. Use a pretty good amount of that. Then we have Bouchant, which is a kind of like Grand Marnier. It's a French cognac. It's orange liqueur.
Gotcha.
So
Okay, cool.
French
Oh,
based
that
or
smells good.
cognac based. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
And then I have some bitters, which kind of balances out the grapefruit and the sweetness in the Bouchant. I make my own sour mix, so this is fresh lemon and agave, a little splash of that,
Nice.
and a little splash of our fresh grapefruit juice. We use the
nice.
Ruby Red, the real nice sweetness, nice
Yeah.
little tartness. Go ahead and give that a nice little shake.
I like the way you shake it, baby.
And then I do a fine strain on this. You could just do a single strain, which I don't mind, but
Right.
I like to get a lot of the pulp since I use a lot of fresh ingredients.
Gotcha.
I like to get the pulp out of there. Gives it a nice, smoother mouthfeel.
You can leave it in and get your fiber for the
Yeah!
day. See how I think?
And then, since we use the orange liqueur, I'm gonna use a little bit of
Little
orange
peel.
zest, yep. Just get a fresh one there. Give it a little twist, get the
oils.
oils all in there.
Yeah.
Give it a swirl and a drop. And there you are in a Dutch Courage there.
Here's to Dutch Courage. I have the worst job in Jacksonville. It's awesome. Thank
good?
you.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Next week, I'm starting something new at iknowjax.com. It's going to be 5 minutes of fun. This is an online-only show. A new episode of 5 Minutes of Fun will be uploaded every Wednesday. Their first one is coming out next week, June 15th, so make sure to check that out and let me know what you think about it. I don't get to travel as much as I would like to. That's probably why I always want to go to food festivals and events where you can taste food from different countries. That's a big part of traveling, at least for me. Or maybe it's because, well, I love food. But occasionally I get to go on a road trip, and that's what we're gonna do next. Today I'm down in Ybor City with Jason, restaurateur extraordinaire.
Thank you.
And I just want to find out, like, first of all, how do you have the energy to do 4 restaurants, man?
I'm a busy guy. I operate them like they're all one big restaurant, and there's just different dining rooms.
I got
so
you.
I make my my route.
So you know, I have to look at your pedometer, man. How many miles do you put in on a lap?
Between 12 and 14 miles a day.
I figured it had to be pretty high.
I have wear the Fitbit. And,
Do you really?
I do.
So normally you would be 300 pounds, but otherwise,
with the way I consume, I would be more than.
That's great. Well, give me a little bit of a history on this. How did you get started?
Well, I'm an Ybor City native, and I started working at the Columbia restaurant right down the street.
Yeah.
They were my neighbors, and I started vacuuming their pool. I worked for Adela Gomesmart and Caesar Gomesmart around their home. I walked the dog, or the dog walked me. However you wanted to.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, I started working in her restaurant, and then when I graduated from University of Tampa, I wound up at Johnson & Wales and got in a master's program, and you know, my career took off.
The rest is history, as you said.
As you would say. I wound up back in Ybor City, and since we've opened up.
Pulled you back.
Yeah, brought me back, which is home.
Yeah, sure.
It's home. As I was saying, my great-grandfather was one of the original bartenders at the Columbia restaurant.
Wow.
This particular dining room is the first place that my grandparents ever danced.
That's
my
so cool.
Maternal grandparents.
So Green Iguana, and then was this next?
And then and Bernini, and then Carne about 4 years ago.
Okay.
And then 2 years ago, we opened the Mexican place across the street, Tequilas.
Okay. So you got it covered now.
Ethnic food does very well in Ybor City. So
I wonder why.
the melting pot that we are. Exactly.
I love it. And it's so funny because it is a lot of different ethnicities here. You've got the Spanish, the Hispanic, you have the Italians, the Greek,
Germans
too.
A lot of Polish. We have.
This is it. This is the melting pot, basically.
They came here and they worked in the factories rolling cigars.
Gotcha.
And part of these social clubs, the German American Club, the Italian Club, the Centro Español that we are in, the Cuban Club, were their social organizations where they would come for medical, they would come for social,
their social services,
their library and education process. Everything was done within the club.
The group. That's why this place, you can just step in here and feel the history. It's incredible. Give me some of the ideas of some of the different dishes that are unique to you guys.
You know, we wanted to make sure that the steakhouse stayed affordable. It was very important for us and for the per diem.
So where are you guys?
We're priced along a Longhorn on an Outback side within $1 or $2 of that. And then we try to offer this beautiful environment and an extensive wine list and you know first class service.
At Carne Chop House, they are not playing when it comes to great food. They got your standards, they got onion soup, Caesar salad. Something a little unusual for a steakhouse is trout almondine, and this smells awesome, so I'm really looking forward to that. They also have poutine, gravy, and they have an egg over the top, which is cool. Also with the egg over top, you have the chopped steak, makes a great sauce over that. And last but not least is Grandma's recipe on the deviled eggs. I gotta really try those. Looking forward to great eats. Are you an Instagrammer? I am too. I love Instagram, and I usually upload a lot of food photos and pretty pics from around town. Join the over 10,000 people who follow I Know Jax at Instagram.com/I Know Jax. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out the new online show, 5 Minutes of Fun, next on Wednesday, and let me know what you think about it. I'll be back with another show next weekend, but before then, I'll see you on the internet. I hope you enjoyed the video. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Now, if this is your first time watching an iknowjax.com video, I would love to have you subscribe so that I can continue to help you find fun things to do in the Jacksonville area. Every weekday, I do a daily video update to remind you of the things that are happening this week. Plus, we do features on great restaurants in the River City and a weekly video calendar of events to help you plan for awesome experiences. And last but not least, every week we create a new full-length episode on all the best places to eat local, drink local, and be local. So subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.